As the United States becomes more and more dependent on oil, you have to ask yourself this question. Where will we be able to get enough oil to meet our ever-growing demand? The answer is simple: Alaska. Although there are many opponents to the idea, according to an article I accessed on July 27th from balancepolitics.org entitled "Should the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge be open to oil drilling?" Drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, or ANWR, would not disrupt the wildlife or damage the environment and would increase oil supply, therefore decreasing foreign oil dependence and increasing domestic job opportunities. First, although many critics claim that drilling at ANWR would devastate the environment and be harmful to wildlife in the area, research has proven otherwise. According to an article I found on July 27th titled "Myths About Drilling in ANWR," published by foxnews.com, oil drilling in Prudhoe Bay, only 55 miles from ANWR, has provided over 10 billion barrels of oil since 1970. It also stated that 3.5 decades of research, there have been almost no harmful effects on the environment shown. The University of North Carolina published an article on their website stating that only 0.08% of ANWR's total 19.5 million acres would be affected by drilling. This can be shown by the red on this map as 0.08%. Fox News states that out of the total acreage, over 17 million acres are totally off limits to drilling, and that the current proposal would allow for drilling on only approximately 2,000 acres. The 17 million acres that are off limits are everything in the orange and blue in the map. They go on to say that the drilling would not take place in pristine areas, but on the coastal plains where there is already some development. The Kenai National Wildlife Refuge in Alaska has had drilling for several years, and no problems have been reported, according to Fox News. The article also says that environmentalists predicting harm to animals should be aware that the caribou herd at Prudhoe Bay has increased from 3,000 in 1977 to over 23,000 today. Obviously, environmentalists need to do their research to discover that drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge would not be devastating to the wildlife or acreage in the area. Secondly, there are 3 huge advantages to drilling in ANWR. There will be a higher supply of oil, less dependence on foreign oil, and new jobs will be created for Americans. The opening of the ANWR fields would decrease projected oil imports in 2025 from 70% to 64%, according to a report published in 2004 by the EIA entitled "Analysis of Oil and Gas Production in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge." This can be shown by the red line, which represents projected oil without ANWR, and by the green line, which shows ANWR added in, with a difference of 6%. The EIA also states that this would reduce foreign oil expenditures by over $10 billion in 2025, and the ANWR fields would produce approximately 1 million barrels of oil a day by this time, as shown by the gray shaded region on this graph. According to the University of North Carolina article titled "Support for the Bush Administration's Attempt in Opening Up ANWR to Oil Exploration," I accessed on July 27th on their website, drilling would create 11,000 jobs during development and between 17,000 and 38,000 jobs after construction. UNC also states that oil in Anwar has the potential to produce almost $800 million a year for the state of Alaska. They go on to say that drilling has helped increase the standard of living in Prudhoe Bay by creating better schools, homes, and even health care. According to balancepolitics.org, oil development in Anwar would dramatically improve the economy and help improve the lives of citizens in Alaska. Overall, you should know that drilling for oil in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge could be the solution for supplying an ever-increasing demand for oil in the United States. Drilling in this area would allow for a decrease in foreign oil imports, more job opportunities, and it would not pose a threat to the environment or wildlife of Alaska. Gaining an understanding of how minimal the risk really is could help critics become supporters of a truly great opportunity America has to increase its oil production. In the future, I hope you will support these efforts as you now know the truth about the great advantages of drilling for oil in Anwar.